Back in the early 2000s, I served as the president of the Greater Cincinnati LGBTQ Community Center for several years. And one of the board members at that center was a minister from the local Metropolitan Community Church, an affirming gay-centered Christian congregation. Now, while we came from different generations and had dramatically different religious perspectives, she and I grew to be close friends while we were serving on that board together. One night, we were chatting over drinks, and she told me a story about an experience that she had had at her church recently. This little MCC chapter was very small, made up mostly of older folks, and membership had been steadily declining. They met in a rented storefront, and finances were always tight. Each month when church leaders gathered, there was usually some anxiety and concern when it came time to look over the financial reports. These reports forecasted that their money situation was growing less and less sustainable by the day, and the congregation was in real trouble, even if no one wanted to actually admit it. My minister friend told me that she felt called. She felt the need to point out this to these church leaders and encourage them to take some action. Well, the members of her church council politely listened, but did not seem moved. The council president finally said to her, "We have heard this news over and over, year after year, and we have always seemed to somehow make it through. Don't worry. We will pray about it, and somehow we know that God will provide." My minister friend quite candidly told me, "You know, Bruce, I just about lost my faith that day. It was about all I could do not to just go storm out of that meeting," she said. Now, she wasn't talking about losing her faith in her God. She was talking about losing her faith in the people of her congregation. Good folks who, despite knowing better, did not want to make difficult decisions when they really needed to. Now, I was telling this story several months ago at a meeting of Unitarian Universalist ministers. And when I got to the part where the church leader says, "God will provide," the room erupted in laughter. Now, I think this laughter was not an expression of judgment or making fun of the people of this little church. I mean, we all know that it can be hard to face a difficult reality. I think the laughter came instead because none of us UUs could imagine that the leaders of our churches would ever respond to a financial crisis by saying, "Don't worry, God will provide." However we may personally understand, imagine, or reject the concept of God, we Unitarian Universalists have always affirmed that we are blessed with the gifts of human reason and agency, and that we are called to make the important decisions about our lives and our communities. Our God, that spirit of life and love, may provide opportunities for us and even give us great guidance and inspiration. But at the end of the day, we know that we must be active partners in the process, taking responsibility for ourselves and for the well-being of others and the institutions that we care about. I heard an interview the other day on NPR with a professor of religious studies from Washington University in St. Louis. He was talking about trends in American culture. This professor stated that estimates now show that around 15,000 churches in the United States, across denominations, are expected to close in just the next few years. He attributed this startling statistic to the fact that more and more people every day are simply choosing to no longer take part in traditional organized religion. Now, when I heard this professor's prediction, my very first thought was, well, I actually probably said it aloud in the car. I immediately responded with, well, my church is not going to be one of those 15,000, right? And I got to tell you that I feel pretty confident in making that statement. And here is why. First, Unitarian Universalism is not a traditional organized religion in any shape or form. While we call this community a church, I would say that we are not really a religion by established standards. We are more a way of being religious together. We are not the kind of church or faith that people are actively rejecting. In fact, we are in many ways exactly what people are saying that they need, what they crave, what they want, especially in hard times. Our focus on shared values rather than dogmatic creeds, and our embrace of diversity and multiculturalism in a society that is increasingly divided are precisely what all these studies show mass numbers of Americans are yearning for. Now, this is not news to most of us. We know this, and we have known it for a long time. Yet the fact that our approach to religion, which offers freedom rather than conformity and affirmation rather than judgment, that fact has not been enough to keep many of our UU congregations vibrant and growing. What makes me so confident in declaring that all peoples has a bright future ahead of us has to do with more than just our alignment to popular modern perspectives about religion. My confidence in our bright future is based on some other essential qualities of this beloved community that go far beyond just being a nice place to hang out. When I come here on Sundays and other times, the incredibly warm and welcoming spirit is palpable. That openness and enthusiasm sends the message to newcomers that we are not only interested in making room for them among us, we are thrilled that they are here. We are eager to hear their stories and their lives and share in them. Our intentional and sustained efforts to identify all peoples as a community which celebrates every person for who they truly are and treasures the diversity of cultures and backgrounds, ages and genders and sexualities and racial identities and physical abilities of all who call this church their home. That makes us a refuge for anyone seeking a safe and supportive environment amid the threats and the dangers of today. Our lively family ministry group activities for our young people, our engaging discussions and programs for everyone signal we are a congregation that is always open to learning and changing, to becoming more than who we are right now. Perhaps most crucially, this is a church that is firmly committed to being a force for good in this world. We do more than just talk about justice. We take action. We reach out. We create partnerships and connections. We show up. We speak out. Here at All Peoples, we are willing to openly share both our hopes and our despair about all that's happening around us and to us. And together, we honor that all of it is sacred. All of it is holy. This is the place to come whenever you're wondering, what can I do to make a difference? We provide so many opportunities to engage, to be empowered, to create positive change, to support others, even in these dark times. Now, I know you may be sitting there thinking this morning to yourself, Bruce, you're preaching to the choir here, so to speak. You know that way that's saying? Well, I guess I am, right? You all know what I'm talking about already. Hopefully you and your family experience all of this each and every time you come to church. But I think there is not any harm at all in sometimes preaching to the choir. It is important for us all to remember and to recognize that what we're doing here is special. It's meaningful. It's needed. I know that for me, it can be really easy sometimes to get caught up in all of the day-to-day activities that are going on here, enjoying potlucks, listening to inspiring speakers, hearing amazing music, and to forget how extraordinary this community truly is. How every day we are creating right here a unique, innovative, transformative expression of what it means to be a Unitarian Universalist. Right here in Louisville, Kentucky. And we're doing it together. And we will keep right on doing it together, no matter what. Today marks the beginning of what we call our stewardship season here at All Peoples. And this is a time when we celebrate that each and every one of us is essential to the ongoing life of this community. The fact is, we need your financial support over the coming year. Without the commitments of every person here, we're not going to be able to do and be all that we are. We're not going to be able to be more and do more. A couple of weeks ago, we sang a hymn that is called Love is at the Center. It's one of those new and beautiful songs that we have been introducing in our Sunday services in recent months. The song goes like this: I believe in the power of giving. I believe in the power of change. I believe in the power of differences. I believe in love. Love is at the center, at the center. There is love. Love is at the center. At the center, there is love. Making your pledge this week or in the weeks to come, letting us know what you are planning to be able to contribute to All Peoples during our next fiscal year, is an act of love. It is a reflection of your belief in the future of this congregation. It is an investment in our shared vision of hope, of justice, and compassion. It is putting your money where your heart is. You know, I found out recently that my minister friend from all those years ago in Cincinnati had passed away. She was 93 years old. And to honor her passing, I saw on Facebook the most moving tributes posted with memories not only of her leadership and her ministry, but also people sharing how meaningful that little church has been to so many people who needed a safe and supportive religious home. People said that they were thankful that God had provided for them that minister and that church. But God also provided them the ability to take care of their church and to keep it going. In the coming months here at All Peoples, we will be putting together our budget for 2026 and 27, and it's going to be based on your pledges. As we look to the future together, may we do so with confidence and with clarity. In thinking about all this, I ran across some lovely words that I want to end up with this morning. These are from a UU colleague of mine named Liz McClay. This is what she wrote. May we not pray for intervention, salvation, completion, or redemption. Those tired prayers that assume making a life is someone else's work or God's work. May we instead understand that we cannot make a life by or for anyone or anything but ourselves. Each other is what we have been given, and it is all that we need. This planet is what we have been given, and it is all that will sustain us. Our generosity is what we have been given, and it is all that we have to give. One another's humanity is all we have been given, and it is what will save us. All that we are, all that we will be known for, all we will be and create and complete is us. And that will be more than enough. So may it be, and amen.